Hello, welcome to Violon Creations Sewing Hub. Today I'm going to show you how to use fabric to bias bind the raw edges of your project as a finishing technique. My name is Rosalind Dacha. Let's delve right into the tutorial. I've already made this tote bag. If you haven't watched my video on how to make a tote bag, please watch that video. I'm going to link it somewhere in this video. So I already made this tote bag and the raw edges are not finished. And I'm going to use bias binding to finish the raw edges. So I'm going to cut fabric from the same fabric that I used to make the tote bag and make the bias binding out of it. If you haven't also watched my tutorial on the parts of the fabric, you may want to watch that as well to know the parts of the fabric. Mentioned bias binding, and to cut the fabric to bias bind the tote bag, I should have been cutting it along this way. But looking at this fabric, the weft is equally stretchy and can do the job. So instead of cutting it along the 45-degree angle, I'm going to cut it right along the weft, which is equally stretchy and can work perfectly. I don't want to waste the fabric, so I'm going to cut along the weft of the fabric. To do that, I need to measure the length of part of the tote bag I'm going to bind or to finish in order to know how much of the fabric to cut. This is measuring 14 inches, but I'm going to cut the fabric at 15 inches because I'm adding extra inches, half inch here, half inch here, half inch here, so that I can finish it when I'm sewing. So I'm going to cut 15 inches, and this has two sides that I need to finish. So I'm going to cut two of them at 15 inches. For the width, I'm going to cut one and a quarter of an inch. So I'm going to measure or mark my fabric 15 inches by 2.5 inches to create my bias binding tape. So this is my 15-inch mark, and I'm going to mark the width at 2.5 inches. I'm marking the top, and I'll mark the down as well. And then join these marks with a straight edge. I'm going to join these marks with a straight edge. I will then cut this piece out. Once I'm done cutting, I will divide this into two because there are two sides of my tote bag and I need two pieces. So I'll divide this into two. It will become 15-inch length by 1.25 of an inch width. So now I have two pieces to finish my two sides of the tote bag. I'll take this to the ironing board and press in 1/2 inch on this side. So I've placed it wrong side facing up, and I'll fold it in like this. I'll fold the other side, the opposite side as well, and press. I'll show you when I get to the ironing board. Here I'm at the ironing board. And I'm just going to press this piece in at 1/4 inch. Basically, we are forming our bias binding tape in order to finish the sides of our tote bag. Once I'm done pressing one side, I'll press the opposite side. For the opposite side, I could actually just mark the 1/4 inch with a chalk and a straight line, a straight edge, instead of ironing like this. But I'll go ahead and iron that side as well. It serves the same purpose. The whole purpose of folding this second part is just to create a line which that will serve as a guide when I stitch. If you could also stitch directly when you get to the machine without folding it like this or without using the chalk to mark, that could work as well. So you could actually skip this step and then sew directly at 1/4 inch when you get to the machine. I'll show you. So I'll press both pieces, each of them on the two sides. These are the two pieces, both ironed on both sides. Each ironed on both sides, I should say. I'm going to place one piece to line up with the side seam, but leaving 1/2 inch at the beginning. Remember, we added extra allowance, 1/2 inch at the beginning, 1/2 inch at the bottom or at the end. So this is how we line them up and stitch. I've pinned this down like this. So I will open the fold. I'll open the fold to line with the raw edges of the side seam and stitch along the line created by the fold. This is the fold, but I'll open it up to line up with the raw edges of the side seam like this. This is the 1/2 inch mark. When I'm done, I will fold it to cover the raw edges. I'm opening up the fold, like I mentioned, to line up exactly with the side seam. Once I'm done, I'm going to snip the seams, making sure not to cut through the thread. This is just to give it some ease. And I'm cutting them at an interval. You could cut at 1 inch interval. Once that is done, I'm going to fold over the 1/2 inch allowance that was left for each side. These are the raw edges. I'm going to, that's the extra or allowance. I'm going to fold it in like this. And fold again the second time, this time covering the raw edges. Like this, and stitch it down. I'm going to stitch right at that folded edge. And I'm tucking in the raw edges as I stitch. Towards the end, just like we did in the beginning, I'm going to fold the other allowance in like this, and fold over the second time, covering all the raw edges, making sure I push in the raw edges not to show in our work. So I'll do so to the other side. And here we have our finished tote bag. All raw edges covered. You will not see any raw edges. This is very neat. If you have found value in this tutorial, please do well to subscribe in order to get subsequent uploads. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. If you have a project you want to learn how to make, put it in the comment section and I'll do well to create a video to show you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.